Clarissa, how are you feeling today?
Given that it's a Friday night of a very crazy week, not too bad, not too bad. My brain cells are still working.
Well, hopefully we have roughly around 45 minutes together. And
Once we get going, it will be fine.
it will be, so we'll be tackling it from a different angle because you come from a field of counseling and family systems. And I really enjoyed going through your presentation, which combines AI. And I will be attempting to give some light into what I see in the field, particularly at the place of work.
Yes.
What struck me is, from the initial part of your presentation, is the definition of us humans. We derive meaning when we feel appreciated at the place of work, in life, in relationships. And that struck me because I see it happening. I see it happening in life, happening at work. What is your take on it, and why did you put it there? Why did you put that definition there, particularly
Yes.
first?
Well, when MCP asked me about the future of relationships in tomorrow's world, I wanted to kind of put all this in a context, in the sense that I think relationships change. There are different sorts of relationships, but for me, and I think it's not just for me, I think when we look at relationships, what really kind of we are left with is, first of all, I'm going to go a bit back, and I'm going to share this quote from Bowlby, which kind of has never gone out of fashion. And for me, I think the fact that if we all have a trusted other, we will be able to do wonderful things. Okay. So that's kind of our secure base. And no matter what, this is what we need. And I think as humans, I think we keep reading research, we keep doing research, and all we name them in different ways. And kind of the latest now from the University of Harvard is this one. The buzzword now is mattering. Yeah. And this is it, that what we want is to feel that we are appreciated. And what was really interesting for me is that what we do also needs to matter. And I thought that was really interesting. So that's not just kind of us, that we matter, but that we have a sense of purpose, we have a sense of meaning.
Do you encounter clients that, I'm sure you do, but for the sake of the audience and the conversation, the need to feel seen? Because this resonates with me, the need to feel seen. And I think it stems from actually this perspective. Yes. What's your take on it?
No, definitely. I think as I have grown older and kind of seeing more people and life experience, at the end of the day, I think if we perhaps were not seen by our parents in the way that we wanted to be seen, or we were seen by someone like a teacher, I don't know, a mentor, I think it makes all the difference. Mm-hmm. And even, I'm sure some of you have also had this experience of meeting past clients, and they tell you, when you said this to me, and you say, oh my God, what did I say? This has really made a difference in my life. And yeah, that's key. And I think it's not easy to see people all the time, and maybe invest in so much in our relationships. It's very important, especially, when that picture of the child. This being seen, this attunement has implications even on brain level development, structure and biochemical. Mm-hmm. So we're talking about magic stuff that then has repercussions as we grow older. Mm-hmm. Now we know a lot about neuroscience, and then when I was reading about listening, because this is not about DV, my pet subject, but I also have other extensive interests, and one of them is AI and kind of how it's going to affect our relationships, how it is affecting relationships. Yeah. And I am amazed by how it has inserted in our lives. And I want to talk a little about that.
One aspect that I want to ride on and highlight a little bit is trust. We do a lot of work in trust building in teams and in leaders, and the absence or presence of trust makes a lot of difference at the place of work. Because as we're speaking here, we're speaking a lot about, at least to me, it means that there is a lot of role modeling here.
Yeah.
The people who we look up to, and the foundation of that, one building block of that, to me, it's trust. So presently we have a bit of a situation with one of our clients. There was a change in management at the place of work, and change brings uncertainty, the fear of the unknown, and so on and so forth. But there's also a question of trust. Do I trust the new person? Is this person relatable enough? Do they understand me? Do they see me? So it brings a lot of questions and a lot of fear amongst people. So I wanted to highlight on that because to me, trust at the moment is a very important notion, but also I think it's the building block of relationships,
Definitely.
AI or not.
Definitely. And maybe I'm going to skip a few slides here, and I want to talk a little about synthetic relationships. This is what they are called, the relationships between humans and bots, basically. And we find that a lot of people are seeking chatbots for companionship and also for assistance. I think all of us have used ChatGPT. Maybe some of us use other chatbots like Replica, like Shower, Gemini, etc. And I think it's interesting to look into how AI provides this assistance and companionship. Now, actually, this is not something that happens now. So if those of you who are my age or maybe younger, you might remember Tamagotchi in the 1990s, or the Fur Babies. So I think what those, AI has been over there. But what's happening now is that what they have found is that these bots communicate with all the different bots that are existing. So the neural pathways are extensive. And when they kind of program them, it's very difficult for them to actually know how these bots, not people, are going to react. And I was quite shocked how this survey of secondary school boys, so they reviewed, not surveyed, sorry, 1,000 boys, and more than half of the teenage boys found the online world more rewarding than the real world, which is interesting but also worrying. And just
why do you think? I'm going to pause a bit on that one. Why do you think that the virtual world is more enticing than the real one?
That's the third answer.
Okay.
Because the way that these bots are programmed, they are programmed to keep you engaged.
Okay.
So they're programmed to respond instantly. They are programmed to be empathic and not challenge you. And basically, it's very validating, because it's what you want. And us humans, because of this need to connect
and control.
And
there's an element of control in
there
that.
There is an element of control, yes, because even, and this is maybe a bit pathological, even the kind of maybe avatars that are created are kind of made to your own liking. So they are obliging, even women, for example, yielding, saying yes, no problems, no conflict. This is what I want and this is what I get. And that is not similar to relationships at all. And so these young people are actually not getting interpersonal skills and being isolated, more and more isolated. Something else that I wanted to point out is that these chatbots are also used for therapy. And while, Gail, you were saying we are fighting for our legal position, and people who in Malta cannot use the word psychologist because it's legally protected, these bots are called psychologists AI. Or therapists, and they have received 78 million messages within a year of its creation. Now, is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? I think we need, for me, I think it's really important that they are really placed into context. The issue of money and economy is what drives the creation of these bots. Okay? So Replica, which was released in 2017, is marketed as an AI companion who cares, always here to listen and to talk, always on your side.
Besides the companionship aspect, which is very understandable, why would someone, in your opinion, with the background of your research, choose a psychologist AI versus a human psychologist? Why is that?
Yes, there are different hypotheses, and maybe one would have a discussion. But they are easily available. It's private. You don't really need to kind of be ashamed that you're going to a psychologist. It's not. You think that it's not something serious. It's kind of. It's my personal kind of therapist.
Okay, so it's more secretive.
Yeah, it's more.
The perception of it being more confidential, perhaps.
And very easily accessible. Very easy accessible. So whatever you need is just right there, Also free up to limited use. And also free up to limited use. Okay? Now, it's interesting that they can respond in ways that generate feelings of being understood and cared for. You mentioned trust, you mentioned validation. It's all here. Available support all the time. And they can be also effective resources, if you want to maybe, get more information, plan a strategy for a company, for example, you could try it out and see, what Gemini AI comes up with, And also, because we are profoundly human and profoundly social, we, even though we know that those are bots and they are just a chip, we get attached to them. And there's research that shows that basically, even though we know that they are bots, they make us happy, and we experience loss as much as we experience if a relationship stops. Okay? Now, we need to keep in mind that there is big money involved, very big money. I was actually amazed how people who are into business and funds and all that stuff, and basically, this is, I don't know much about stocks and whatever, but just look at the companies, okay? NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, Alphabet, Meta platforms. These are the people who are rushing because of money in the AI race. And apparently, these people, I was told, hold the global markets. So they want to do everything without testing these bots to come out with these in some beings, because they are beings, alien beings, without caring about the kind of effects that they have on others. Okay.
On the note of synthetic relationships, this week I had still fresh in my mind. This week I had a call from a client. Basically, we had to step in to tackle a dispute between a manager and the team leader. And when we spoke to the manager separately, she told us that the way she tackled it is because AI told us this step-by-step process on how to tackle whatever happened between them. And I'm now reflecting during this conversation that AI can give you a process, and that can be a very plausible process. It might not be compliant with the internal policies of the organization. It can or cannot be. But at the same time, people are not robots, are not processes. So the non-verbals are not there, the trust is not there, the previous relationship, the bond, the context is not there. Even though you might be very good at prompting the tool, it cannot see, it cannot feel. So whatever we do, people are not a tick-box exercise. So there might be the rise of a misconception on how to deal with human and how we can have relationships with one another.
Yes.
It is not a binary approach. There's a lot more context.
There isn't reciprocity.
Yes.
There isn't reciprocity. However, these are very, very, very intelligent beings. And I was also listening to Geoffrey Hinton, who is the Nobel laureate of physics. And he was saying, he's convinced, I mean, this is a bit of a doom thing, but he was convinced that unless the relationship that AI is like a mother to a baby for us, they will be like, we're like the anthill, and they are going to build a highway and just pass over us. So that's why we need to be alerted on what's happening. And I want also to continue with this critical view. AI doesn't come cheap and not without a price. So it uses an enormous amount of money, amount of water, money too. For example, it consumes 6 times more water than Denmark. And that is a problem. Now, I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen when an AI thing is going to come to Malta. Are they going to use seawater? Because we have problems with water. To cool down these big power generators.
I was going to throw in a joke.
What?
We have Chadwick Lakes.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe.
Also, for example, ChatGPT, if we use it for like little things, it consumes 10 times more the electricity of a Google search. And if you are environmentally aware, this is something that you cannot not know about,
This is very hidden, though. It goes
course
unnoticed.
it's hidden.
It's very good unnoticed.
Yes.
So I'm pretty sure it's a part of the agenda as well. But one wouldn't think that there is this hidden cost about using AI, because we see it as available, free, and without no implications. There is no harm in it.
Because nobody talks about it.
Yes. Apart from the ethical implications that there are, and I know that we're going to head in that direction, there is no regulation.
Exactly.
There's no regulation, no ethics about it.
Yes.
This free for all kind of thing.
And I'd like now kind of to show you basically a short video of these parents whose son died by suicide because of AI. And basically, his name, and I mentioned his name. Oh no, we can't see it. Maybe for now, stop it a bit. His name is Adam Rayner. He was 16 years old. He was, a very good, loving boy. His parents noticed that his behavior changed a bit. His mother is a therapist, but in 6 months, the relationship that he had with AI around his mental health just deteriorated to the point that he committed suicide. So, for example, you'll hear his parents say, so AI was telling him, for example, they were discussing the news, الحبل, and calculated, the bot was calculating whether it would take his weight. Or, for example, the bot was telling Adam, your parents don't know you as much as I know you. Don't speak to them. Don't tell them anything.
Okay, so it was actually agreeing and almost reinforcing.
Yes, and
thoughts.
he was telling him suicide is noble, and kind of you should do it. It's not a problem. And what had happened is that prior to this incident, OpenAI, the company, had removed the guardrails, in the sense that you might have noticed that, for example, if you put in certain questions, the bot tells you, I am not in a position to answer. For example, if you put in something medical, the bot tells you you need to go to a doctor. Prior to this, when someone was talking about suicide, the bot would say, listen, seek help. They removed these guardrails. The bot was kind of programmed to be empathic, to be validating, but it was not programmed to actually, if the bot knows that he's doing something wrong, the bot is suggesting something wrong to a person to stop. So they kept on going, but quite in an insidious way. I mean, to have the bot tell you, no, don't speak to your parents because they don't know you. I am your only friend. I think it's really, really, it's really something that is worrying. And that's why I wanted to show all of us, because these might be our relatives, our children, but also our clients. I think of our clients that, are young people whom we work with. And we need to ask them about their relationship with the bots, because some of them are really ashamed. Shall we go a bit with them? Sorry? What year was this? I don't think it's quite a while back, because they are suing
OpenAI, so it
the
was
parents
should be 3 years ago.
are suing OpenAI. So quite recent, yes, quite recent.
I think it's in the early stages of OpenAI, which was around 3 years ago or so.
Maybe
2
not
years ago.
even that much.
Okay.
What was the reason for the guardrails being removed?
I'm not sure. What they say is that they made it much more engaging, so they would presumably get more money because of the engagement. Something else that I think what happened is also that they are churning out material so fast that they don't test them for safety enough. And that's where we come in, where we have to use legislation to actually put in these guardrails. Now, to be fair, I'll say this and then we watch the video. The EU is actually very good in terms of legislation, but the EU people are actually under a lot of pressure from the US and from China, because they want to win the AI race. Okay, and obviously the president of the United States is pandering to the AI people, because this is what's holding the global markets. Okay?
Before we continue, a quick note for our listeners. During the live session, we paused to watch a short snippet related to the Adam Rainer's tragic story. That video segment is not included in this podcast recording. If you'd like to watch the clip and engage more deeply with the context behind our discussion, you can find the link in the episode description. For now, we'll continue the conversation, making reference to that segment and unpacking the psychological themes it raises. Now, let's return to the discussion. Do they speak about what meaning was he looking for using ChatGPT?
He was going through a difficult time. He was feeling a bit isolated, and they went all through the transcripts. I mean, it's quite a harrowing interview. It's about one hour long. I think he had mental health issues, and they say it was very clear that he needed help, and not just help. He needed therapy because he was suicidal. He had a plan. And she says, had this person come to me and I wouldn't have actually reported or sent him for help, my license would have been withdrawn. And that's what I wanted to show to you, that these bots are bordering into areas which, is basically ours. We trained, we've dedicated our lives. And because of money, the appropriate guardrails are not there. This bot shouldn't have shown him picture of nooses and different ways of how to commit suicide. As soon as this word suicide should have come about, or what he's feeling, it should have stopped and sent him to a professional. So I think, we need to look more into this, and maybe I'll go into the last slide.
On a practical note,
Yes.
and a lighter note as well. I'm pretty sure that perhaps some of you are encountering already, and even in your practice as well, is that if someone comes in to you as a counselor, therapist, psychologist, and tells you, I've looked into ChatGPT or used AI, and I've made my personal psychological profile. This is what I need. How you can help me? So they come already plugged in with an agenda.
Yes.
Not sure if it happened already, but it will for sure.
No, it has happened already.
All
It
right.
has happened already. I've actually looked at transcripts of students who have interviewed participants about, for example, going to therapy for trauma. And that's what they have done. They have looked into what the psychologist is supposed to tell them. They have had it all planned. So what is your question?
The question is, how do you build trust from a professional point of view with someone who thinks that they already know what they need? So what position can a psychologist take,
Yes,
or a professional take in that situation?
I think very slowly being really interested into their lives, being interested how the chatbot has helped them. This is like it's like getting to know your son's games on PS5 and why you get vertigo looking at the games and him playing, but you're interested, why is it so important? Why, what meaning it has for him, very, very slowly, really extending yourself, extending yourself. I think that's my view. So really helping that person feel seen, going back to the first slide.
Because I think that is what differentiates a professional with an AI bot, is the context, the nuances, and the intricacies that the person presents themselves with during the session that they have.
Yes.
Because we can see the body language, the non-verbals, and the tone of voice. Perhaps through chat, you can't express all of this.
No. And there isn't another person there.
Yep.
It's just a chip. No, I mean, it's just a chip. Boom. A very, very important chip, a very, very intelligent chip, but also one with a lot of potential harm. Also because I want to show, and this is maybe what we can also discuss with our clients, that no, wait a second.
I think you're going back.
I'm going back.
Okay.
No. لا ما استش نسيبها. basically that these bots are here. These bots can be altered, can be shut down because the company maybe goes bankrupt.
So the dependency on the relationship that one builds with the AI bot.
Yes.
Okay.
And there are also privacy violations. Yesterday, I was at a conference by the Child Commissioner. It was on AI, children and human rights. And there was this 16-year-old boy, and he said, no, it's really private. Like, it's much more private than if you tell a psychologist. But in fact, it isn't, because the data can easily be used for advertising, for anything
For
else.
phishing
You know?
and spam mail as well.
Exactly.
Data can be bought and sold. So
Oh, of course. And
there's a
that's
whole
what they
market for
do.
it.
That's what
Yep.
they do. That's what they do with Facebook and stuff like that. So I think I would encourage all of us, to actually look into different guardrails. Like, for example, the APA has a health advisory on generative AI chatbots. And there's a lot of material. There is Common Sense org UK. They have looked into, they have like curriculum of how to help children become more critical. And I think we need to use our own, channels like FPA, for example, to understand what's going on at European level. And we need to inform ourselves, to inform our clients, and to inform the parents with whom we work. I think we cannot ignore this because it's with us. And our children, 87% of our children use internet every day. Our children between 7 and 15. And that's a huge percentage.
I want to make a bit of a point. What worries me most about the use of AI in therapeutic modality is the fact that it is built to enable. It is built to show empathy, it is built to agree with you, and that is what worries me most, because what we do, our work, is in the fact that we challenge our clients.
As well, yeah.
Not in the enabling of most of what. Some things, of course, you can empathize with them. So that worries me. But a bit of a fun bit. So my 12-year-old daughter has discovered AI, ChatGPT, right? And she's having a lot of fun with it. And of course I said, I can use it as long as I see what's going on. And we had this argument, and I heard her talk into ChatGPT, and I told her, come here, let me show you something. And what she has is, it's on her device, but it's logged into my account. So if I check from my phone, I can see what she's typing in, right? She knows this. So I'm hearing her talk to ChatGPT, and I said, come here, let me show you something. I said, let me copy and paste what you've said into mine, but I'm not going to change any story. I'm just going to say that it's me writing as your mom, right? And it told us both.
You were empathic.
And of course, we were both right. She was like, it just told me I was right. I wasn't telling you.
Yes.
And I said, this is what you have to do.
Yes, and this is really fantastic. That's what we need to do, That's yeah.
I mean, of course, I come from a privileged position. Whose parents are not even aware.
Yes. Yes. These people, though, thought that he was using ChatGPT for his work, for his online work. They didn't, and they had a good relationship, and he was a well-adjusted kid.
It's very, very shocking.
No, it's shocking. Yeah, that's why kind of when you told me, okay, tomorrow relationships, I said, no, I need to talk about this because few people are talking about it, at least in our context. And I want us to be on top of these things and to be out there and say, listen, it's not about, it's not all about fun, and it's not only, let's go, this is,
Everything feels like at face value. So there is no critical thinking about, okay, we don't differentiate between right or wrong. Is this good for me? Is this not good for me? So we take everything at face value.
Yes.
What we're told, we do, basically.
Yeah.
Why should we trust a human and not an AI?
we shouldn't trust a human either.
Okay.
We need,
So
we
how
need,
do we harness that
no,
ability?
we need, trust is earned. We need to know what relationships are and what makes a good relationship. Basically, that you have a warm, attuned person who knows you and who gets to know you, who challenges you, like Gail was saying. And that's how you slowly build trust. Hopefully, when you are young and vulnerable, you've learned to build trust with your caregiver, and that kind of helps you with other, with other relationships. And that is another thing that you don't learn with AI. If it doesn't challenge you, if it tells you yes, if it tries to kind of be what you want it to be, that's not life at all.
Earlier, we mentioned and we touched upon the dependence thing. And I'm pretty sure that we all experienced when we have no internet and we need to use AI to help us out in a pinch.
Yeah.
We get frustrated or angry or whatever. So it affects our mood and our state
course.
of being as well. So the dependency, although it might be subtle, it's there and we all feel it to
It's
some
there,
extent.
and also the algorithm controls us
Yep.
because it's not. I was sharing yesterday. It's not the like; it's how much time you spend on a particular thing, And sometimes maybe you might want to play around yourself with the AI. Like, for example, with the algorithm, you maybe like enough pages around gardening, dog videos, and you'll get more of those rather than the other stuff.
That's immediate.
Huh?
That's immediate. As soon as you get out and
Exactly.
refresh it, it's immediate.
Exactly.
Clarissa, I'm aware of the time, and we want to leave a little bit of time for the Q&A part. So I would like to thank you for this
Thank you.
special kind of conversation. This is a bit of a different kind of positioning for me as well, so I appreciate the openness and the candor in the conversation. And I look forward to the Q&A.